With 3 Emmys and 2 Golden Globes to her name, actress Edie Falco definitely made her mark as New Jersey mob wife Carmela Soprano in the HBO mega hit The Sopranos. Well, now 2 years after the end of that series, she's starring as a pill-popping, no-nonsense nurse on Showtime's critically acclaimed dark comedy, Nurse Jackie. This Monday marks the season finale. Here's a sneak peek.
So I broke my own finger so I could have alone time with you because we have amazing chemistry.
You said it, not me.
You are a moron.
Nurse Jackie joining us now in person, Edie Falco. So great to have you with us.
It's great to be here.
The show is fantastic.
Thank you.
And it's just one of the things I love to have to say in the first episode is it keeps you guessing. There are all these things you don't expect from this character. Has she kept you guessing throughout that whole season?
Absolutely, which is why I was so excited to do it, because there's so much these days that I was looking at, reading, but it doesn't keep you guessing. So that was definitely a criteria.
Was it hard to make that decision because you go from this fantastic show that you've been on for years, which so many people identify you with now, not that you hadn't done things before, but you're sort of Carmela Soprano to so many people, and then to jump into something new, a new series, was it hard to make that decision?
It was hard to make that decision because my standards were so high, because the writing on Sopranos was so good and so surprising and so challenging, and you know, it's not the norm so much in this industry. I feel like it's easier to stick with what people know will be successful and, you know, what the viewers want to see. And so to find something that was surprising to me and in theory to an audience was definitely difficult.
She's very complex. She's this very dedicated nurse, dedicated mother. She's a wife, and yet she's this sort of pill-popping adulterer at the same time.
Right.
Is that hard sometimes to figure out, okay, so how do I embody this woman? How do I make her come to life?
It probably should be harder to do than it is. For some reason, I'm having no difficulty at all.
I would say that's a good thing.
I don't know. I mean, it's good for my career, but that's another story. I think that you kind of play each scene, I guess, as if it is the only one. So when she is with her boyfriend, she's not necessarily thinking about her family at home. I think with that kind of behavior, there's a lot of compartmentalizing.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh, this is all that's happening now, this is all that's happening. It's too hard to have them exist in your brain at the same time. So I think that's partially what gets her through the day.
And in a way, that's got to be what your life is like, because you're a working mother.
Right.
And juggling those two things, a lot of times it really just comes down to, I'm at work, I focus on this now.
That's it. When I'm here, I'm this person. When I'm here, I'm this person. It's hard to sometimes, like, right now, imagining me picking up after my dog, let's say, you know, which is a normal part of my morning when I'm not wearing, you know, high heels.
It's easier in flip-flops or sandals, technically.
There you go. There you go. I don't know how I got here, but anyway, yes.
So as you're going through and doing that, was it a change for you too? Because you had a little downtime after The Sopranos, and then and you added some kids to your life. You know, your daughter came along, and then to have to go back to work.
The truth is, I love to work. I would have worked the day after Sopranos if I had found something that I liked. But, you know, as usual, if I stay out of the planning of all of this, it always works out beautifully.
Kind of let the universe work its magic.
Exactly right. And my daughter came along, and I've had time to be with her as she's, including the summer, as she's becoming like a walking, talking person in my house, you know.
And you were picked up for a second season after the first episode aired, is that right?
Yeah.
Which is almost unheard of, especially these days.
I guess that's true. That's true. Yeah, tremendously good fortune. It's very unusual that I have loved so much the experience of doing a show and people have liked watching it. You know, very often it's one or the other. But I got as lucky with Sopranos, and I figure, walk away from this and be grateful.
When it comes to The Sopranos, I'm sure people still ask you, well, I don't know, maybe they don't, but do they still come up to you and say, okay, what really happened? The last scene, what do you think?
Of course, as if I wrote it or have any greater understanding than they do, but it's a huge compliment. You know, people are still asking about it, and I still know as little as I did the day I read it. I was like, well, so what? Is there?
Do you like to imagine it a certain way just for your own benefit? Do you like to think, oh, so here's what happened?
Nah, I'm not that smart.
You just let it go?
I think David Chase, who the creator of Sopranos, said one time, and I'm paraphrasing, something about, I think what it means is that their life goes on. And we just don't see it anymore. Either he gets killed or he doesn't, or if he doesn't get killed this time, he probably does sometime later, or maybe he won't.
Right.
But the reality is that whatever it is, we're not going to know anymore.
And you
we're done.
Get to imagine it. You are done, but there is, of course, always the question of, will there be a movie like there was for Sex and the City? Is there any talk about that?
Nothing other than people asking me, you know, people that aren't involved. So there is no talk of it that I know of. But, you know, as usual, it's a family member that says, oh, you're doing a movie in September.
Right.
All right, great.
I hadn't heard. That's good to know.
Good.
Thanks.
Where do I show up?
Thanks so much for coming in, Edie Falco. Pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure. A pleasure is mine.
And you can catch the Nurse Jackie season finale this Monday night at 10:30 p.m. on Showtime. Chris?
Erica, thank you.